My name is David Carter, and that night at the party became the most humiliating and life-changing night of my life. My wife, Melissa, and I had been married for 6 years. Things weren't perfect, but I thought we were solid. She liked nice things, fancy dinners, designer clothes, but I worked hard to give her a comfortable life. That evening, my boss invited us to a high-end party at a country club, an event full of wealthy people, expensive champagne, and glittering chandeliers. Melissa was thrilled. She spent hours getting ready, wearing a shimmering gold dress that made everyone's head turn when we walked in. I was proud, until the moment pride turned to pain. As soon as we entered, Melissa's eyes locked onto a tall man surrounded by admirers. His name was Ethan Blackwell, a tech millionaire known for his arrogance. He greeted me with a nod, but gave Melissa a look that made my stomach twist. They talked, laughed, and danced. At first, I tried to brush it off, telling myself she was just being friendly. But as the evening went on, her hand lingered on his arm longer, her laughter louder, and the distance between us grew like a wall I couldn't climb. When I finally approached them, Ethan smirked and said, "You don't mind if I borrow your wife for a bit, do you?" before leading her to the dance floor. I stood there, feeling like a fool, pretending to sip my drink as whispers filled the room. Then came the moment I'll never forget. Melissa leaned in close to him, and they shared a slow dance that wasn't just a dance, it was a betrayal. Ethan pulled out a dollar bill, held it up, and tossed it at my feet with a mocking grin. "There," he said loud enough for the crowd to hear, "buy yourself some pride." Laughter erupted around me. I didn't say a word. I simply picked up the bill, folded it neatly, and placed it in my pocket. Then I walked out. Melissa didn't follow. That night, I slept in my car outside the apartment we shared. The next morning, she came home, hair messy, eyes defiant. "He's rich, David," she said coldly. "You'll never understand what it's like to have real security." I looked at her and said quietly, "Money doesn't buy loyalty." Then I left. In the months that followed, I worked harder than ever. I started my own small software company, the one I'd always dreamed of but never had time for. I lived simply, invested wisely, and poured my energy into building something real. 2 years later, my company was acquired by a major firm for over $7 million. I didn't throw a party. I didn't buy a mansion. I just smiled, remembering the dollar bill still folded in my wallet. One day, I saw Melissa again, at another charity event, ironically hosted by Ethan. She approached me, her confidence gone, her once gold dress replaced by something far less glamorous. "David," she whispered, "I made a mistake." I looked at her calmly and said, "No, Melissa. You made a choice." Then I handed her the same dollar bill Ethan had thrown at me and added, "That's what you thought I was worth." Turns out, that dollar taught me the value of self-respect. As I walked away, I felt lighter than ever. Sometimes, the things meant to break you become the reason you rise. And in my case, one man's dollar turned into my fortune, just not the kind he could ever understand.